So, welcome back. Now, as promised, this is my review of the sim racing hardware GIMAX Gearshift Indicator. Sim Racing Hardware, or SRH, is a British company that design and build actual working instruments for your sim rig. As well as the products they sell off the shelf, they can custom make you a bespoke dashboard, and the sky is the limit. So if you're into sim racing, I suggest you go over and check out their website. It's awesome. The things they do are fantastic. Their products use the well-tested SimDash software, which is actually supplied from Sim Projects. And once again, this is another website that you really need to check out. I'm going to be testing this gear shift indicator with Assetto Corsa. Now, in my opinion, Assetto is one of the best sim racers out there at the moment. And the best thing is, with every update, it just keeps getting better. It's available for download on Steam. But now onto the hardware. There are two types of gear indicators available, and SRH will make you a stand for either one. The first shown here is the GI Pro, and then the second is the GI Max. This has a larger 47mm LED. You can buy the module from Sim Projects, which costs around £24, or you can buy the complete thing with the stand from SRH, and that costs about £44, and that's what I went for. And here it is, straight out of the box, and oh man, the first thing that grabs you is the pure quality of the thing. The carbon effect fascia really does catch the light. And those alloy torque screws really do look the business. I mean, it looks like you could just bolt this in your car and go. Here you can see the Sim Projects board on the back, and with this option you get the side mounted mini USB lead connector. And the good news is you don't need any auxiliary power supply with this, it just picks up its power from the 5V USB, so it's just a one lead option. Now, well, it's a small thing, but there's no US to mini leads supplied. But I'm sure like me you've got a couple knocking around anyway. If not, well, unfortunately you probably have to buy one online, but the best thing is, like the budgie, they're cheap. So 10 out of 10 for this stand. I mean, SRH have done a fantastic job once again. I really do like it, and the tinted lens across the LED as well. It's just a finishing touch. The stand itself is available on its own from the Sim Projects website at a cost of £22, so it's well worth that. Now, whilst I was on this page, I noticed that there's a new version of SimDash available, SimDash 6. Now, it's really good that actual Sim Projects are continually updating this. Now, it says that this version of SimDash fixes problems with Assetto Corsa. Now, personally, I've had no problems at all, but as it's the latest version, it's always good to get that downloaded, and that's what I'll do before I actually start the review. So once again, look, I do apologise about the crappy screenshots. I really do need to get some screen grabber software. So yeah, sorry about that, people. So there we go. Yep, that's installed. We're ready to go. Fantastic. So we're now going to go into the actual SimDash software itself and actually configure the GIMAX. So firstly, we can see that the actual GIMAX is connected. And you can see that on the actual indicator itself, because it actually comes up with the N symbol for neutral. So we know we've actually got a connection. So now we can actually go into the configuration settings, and here we are. So the device is connected, so from here you can set the minimum RPM where you want the actual device to blink, the maximum RPM where you want it to blink, and also you can set it so it doesn't blink in 5th gear. And then below that you've got a brightness control. Now I'll try and show this on the actual camera. If I slightly turn it up, you see the actual LED increase in intensity. Now 100% is actually really bright. I find that 50 is fine for me. It's a bit difficult on the camera because the camera has auto adjustable exposure. It's a good little feature, and certainly if you like playing in the dark like I do, you don't want this thing too bright. Okay, so enough of that. Let's see how it runs. Now as always, we'll start off with Assetto Corsa. Now for this test I've chosen a real classic Formula 1 car, and we're going to use a late 60s Lotus Type 49. Now thankfully Assetto have used an early spec car without all of that ground effect spoilers and things which kind of ruined the look. The Lotus Type 49 was of course designed by Colin Chapman, and it was their first car to use the now famous Cosworth DFV engine, which went on to power most of the Formula 1 cars in the 1970s. Jim Clark won their first Grand Prix debut in 1967, and ironically it was a Type 49 that he was driving in the last win of his career in 1968. Tragically, Clark died the same year at the Hockenheim in a terrible crash. He was aged just 32. So Graham Hill took over, and with this car he continued to win races right into 1970. Hill himself died in 1975, but for once it was actually not on a racetrack. Instead, he unfortunately crashed his Piper aircraft into Arkley Golf Course whilst trying to land at Elstree Airport. So this is the car we're going to be using. Right, if we look at the power graph for this car, you'll notice that the actual peak torque and peak power drops off well before the maximum 10,000 RPM. So this is what we're going to set the actual flicker on the actual gear shift indicator to. We'll set it just about around the sort of 9,000 RPM. Now what I'd like to do, along with the actual tachometer, is set it so the actual gear shift indicator will just flicker about 200 RPM before you actually hit the maximum power. This gives you just that kind of microsecond warning that you need to change gear. So here we go, we'll do a lap of Monza. Now look out for that flicker just before the red light comes on. So of course with SimDash, this display will work with most games. I'd like to show it working with another favourite of mine. This is GT Legends. Oh man, this is a game that I've absolutely played to death over the years. And here it is working with the Mini Cooper. And it's quite good to see the actual real life indicator of actually the on-screen one as well. Hope you enjoy it, and well, as always, thanks for watching guys.